Welcome to the Take It Home podcast so bad we really should just take it home. I am one of your hosts, Doc Simmons. You can find me on all social media at Doc717. We got the whole crew here today after a very long weekend for all of us. I'm gonna give the hot tag to my partner. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Zach Hendricks. Find me on all social media at Z Hendricks Brand. And look up your mama's favorite shooters at Country Air Official on Facebook and Instagram, and Country Air Brand on Twitter. And I'll pass it off to the senior official.
Hey, what's up, guys? Referee Perch. You can find me at Perch XLV, pound sign for the ref brand, and Waffles Take It Home podcast.
Waffles. How was breakfast for you, Perch?
Had a good bacon, egg, and cheese on a brioche bun out there on the East Coast. Really hit the spot. Damn good. They do bread really well over there. And, yeah, it really hit the spot for a good
East
bread.
Coast water. It's different.
Yeah, it hits different. The bread status is on another level.
Zach, we did not get up early enough to specifically have breakfast either of our days, but I think we ate pretty well.
Yes, sir. Our breakfast Saturday morning was at a crisp afternoon 12. And what was it? Got wings.
Yep, got wings.
First time having them. I would say they're good. They're very good. I would definitely do a different sauce other than the buffalo. The buffalo wasn't hidden right, but the Asian zinc was fire.
Yeah, but they also had like 50 billion sauces, and half of them sounded super interesting and could not tell what they were.
It was kind of one of those, like, I kind of wish there's like a Baskin Robbins where you can go and sample a flavor before you get it, because there's what was the one sauce, something different, like that
Yeah,
one,
something different. It just sounded interesting.
Yeah, and then good eats.
Gold wings, gold barbecue wings, gold.
Yeah, there's a bunch of, like, they had like probably at least, like, I would say at least 30 different flavors.
Yeah, there were a lot. It was overwhelming, actually, a little bit. But and then Sunday, stopped at the Properly Spelled Quick Trip. I had me a brisket taco with some chipotle sauce that was pretty good. I think I would just get a different cheese. I don't think sadly the cheese mix was hitting as well as it could have on that taco.
Yeah, and then I think I got myself like just a chicken bacon sandwich. Pretty good.
Nice. And you know what else is pretty good? Those bangers of the week, Perch.
Banger of the week this week. This one hit inside the locker room. It was a song that it was kind of a long, narrow hallway. It was me and another gentleman. I heard the sound and it caught my ear, and the hips started moving. And yeah, I can't dance at all, but you can't help but dance when certain music gets hit. And we started dancing, and it was great. And the song was La Bamba by Richie Valens. What a classic tune.
La 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 bamba.
Yeah, what a classic tune. My goodness, the timbali, the horns, the everything, all the music to it. Yeah, great song. Great song. Arez and Commander were in town. Commander had the jukebox on lock, and we were bumping some great old tunes. And perfect dancing music for me because it doesn't require too much.
Yep, just shake those hips slightly faster.
And yeah, it was such a great song. Good tune. Always been there. Always will be there. And sometimes it gets better.
Perch doesn't dance on his own, but there seem to be a select few wrestlers that can get you to bust a few moves. As a Commander, Davey Richards, Richard Swan. And yes, for those that don't know, I know Davey Richards sounds like a weird one to be on that list, but if you can go ahead and find that video, you know what I'm talking about.
Too funny. Yeah, it's always fun staying loose, staying limber, whether it's in back in front of no one or in the middle of the ring in front of a lot of people. Yeah, always have to stay loose.
Yeah, just doing your stretches. All right, so long car trip for me and Zach. So I know we watched a bunch of wrestling, but first let's keep it on you. Did you watch anything fun this week?
Yeah, that AEW was pretty darn good.
Yes.
Um, Roosh against Danielson.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh, good, so good, hard hitting, incredible storytelling the whole time from Danielson having to overcome being trapped to get into the ring to Roosh
And
just
Roosh
going,
just beating his chest in.
oh, just going ham. That's there's always a moment throughout any wrestling show where I think of, well, the fans got their money's worth, and that match right there is like, yeah, anyone watching this definitely got their money's worth. It was worth it. Um, MJF against Takeshita,
Yep.
damn good,
Yeah,
damn
that was
good
a good
match.
one. MJF breaking out that athletic ability that he does have. He just doesn't use very often.
Yeah, using it selective, uh, because the story is first and foremost, and anything else comes second. So fun to see him telling stories and pushing it to the next level. A little bit of blood in there, and by the end of it, Danielson ended up winning to uh, make the match against MJF. So we saw MJF a bunch throughout the night. Um, but when he cut that promo with that storytelling, holy smoke! What a swerve at the end too. It
Yeah.
gets you emotionally invested just telling stories. Uh, yeah, really enjoyed that episode. The brothers and AR Fox with Darius
Yeah.
and Dante against the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Wow,
Crazy six man. Yeah.
wow, just on a out of this world. Incredible athleticism, great pro wrestling for modern trios matches. They're unlike anything else going on in pro wrestling.
I feel like they are definitely trying to change the game with that. Because I mean, they've got a bunch of great tag teams. So what else can they do but up it? Let's add another man and see if we can change this.
Yeah, yeah, and they're really kind of writing the book on it in the modern day, modern era. So fun to watch. And the tag team titles by the end of it switched hands. They left with heat. I really
Very
enjoyed.
unexpected. Very
I,
unexpected.
I really enjoyed that. Um, yeah, a good episode all around. Fun wrestling. Another match that I watched through the weekend live was uh, two guys we mentioned before, Artez and Commander, took each other on, and and there's always something that I've never seen before
Yeah.
through Artez's matches. At one point, they lock up with the Greco-Roman, both hands, and they work it into a backslide into a kind of a stalling brainbuster. Unbelievable, the balance, athleticism, um, the ability to perform under that pressure. Just that Commander Artez match from round one in the Jersey J Cup, definitely worth seeking out for some of the stuff that I saw in that match. I was watching from the balcony too, so I had a great view.
Nice, nice, nice. Always great to have a venue with a balcony.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, Zach. We watched a bunch of stuff on the road.
Yeah, we watched NXT Vengeance. Watched all of that. The Dijak, watched Dijak dislocate his finger off that moonsault. I like the women's tag match. They put over the women being the longest reigning tag champions, and the telling that story. I forget the women. I don't know their names. I'm kind of too.
Caden Carter and it's Katana something because they changed
Yeah,
the name.
and then who do they wrestle against again? What's their names? Their opponent.
Kiana James and I believe another K name.
Yeah, but I like the fact that they're like telling the story that one like they're like a heel baby tag team, and one wants to do it the right way, and the other one is willing to cut the corners. And at the end, they won by cutting the corner without the baby seeing it.
Yep.
Um, Watched a little bit of the Stone Cold podcast, him and Jericho talking about Jericho's career. We watched We watched Noah, the last great Muda match with Muda, Darby Allin, and Sting taking on Hayabushi, right?
Takushi, Akira, and Marufuji.
And Ibushi, that table bump.
Yeah, that is like I don't even know if it's right to call it a table bump.
I don't know what to call it, but like, bro, that hurt me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you got a chance to see that Perch, but it's basically like first like 8 to 10 minutes, you just get this feel like, oh, this is supposed to be like a vibes match. Everybody's got these awesome gimmicks. Then Akushi takes a bump from the apron to the announcer's table. Like he's on the apron. I want to say it's Muda comes running with something, and he bounces from the apron past the announce table. And from there on, it just goes to hell. And it's awesome. It was a really good match, actually.
Then what else we checked out? We checked out that match, the Okada, the match that went viral of Okada.
Yeah, when Kiyomiya kicks Okada in the face, and Okada just loses it and beats the shit out of Kiyomiya. That was and then it's the Congo versus Lij 5 match run. Um, yeah, Okada is. We've had babyface Okada for a while, but cocky, I am better than you, and I am just above all this. Heel Okada is great. And then we had the Congo versus Lij matches. I think the semi and main event were the best ones. Katsuhiko Nakajima and Shingo Takagi beat the hell out of each other. I still think Shingo Takagi is probably the best seller in wrestling right now. Because he took a freaking beating and I believed it fully. Kino is like my favorite cartoon villain heel. He just makes the best facial expressions. Super serious. Plays a awesome straight man in comedy matches. And him and Naito tore it down for that main event. And then, of course, we got to end with Muda challenging Naito for his final match that I believe was this past weekend. So we'll probably sit down and watch that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, awesome time. Let's keep it moving. Talk about what we did this weekend. Since ours was a bit lighter, why don't we go, Zach?
Yeah, this weekend, Friday after work, made the way down to Nashville, Tennessee. Crashed out at Doc's homie's place, Josh. Got there around 4:30 a.m. Thought we were going to bed right after bed. Stayed up, unfortunately, till like almost 7 a.m. Woke up, did the thing, made our return to Coastal Championship Wrestling. They have a new venue, the Redcon Gin. Super nice venue. It was
Super
packed.
nice gym too.
Oh yeah, it was like
I wish we would have gotten the Iggy that we could work out before.
oh yeah, like yeah, we show up like around 4 or 5 ish. And everyone's there already getting a pump in, getting sweaty. There's Beastman on the
Yeah,
treadmill.
first thing I see is Beastman on the treadmill.
Beastman's on the treadmill, and the Ariel's on the elliptical. Jackal's doing his pump. See our opponents doing their form, and just showing up like, damn, didn't know we could lift.
Yeah, but it was nice. Super nice gym, super nice venue.
Ran to the homies, Hunter Knott and Trip Gordy.
Yep, ran into those two guys. Crowd was super hot. It was like 250, 300 people. Packed into that like little back area. It's really nice setup. And then got to work.
And then our opponents weren't too nice. They had some choice words to talk about Nashville. I think they talked bad about the chicken. I don't know, but don't talk bad about Nashville hot chicken around me. I
I mean,
love
because they
that
talk
stuff.
bad about chicken. Chicken's delicious.
Exactly. So we had to give Gio and Elliot show them a little bit of that country grammar, country strong style. Yeah, we went to work.
Yeah, went to
Uh,
work. It was good to see Belt Collector there in the crowd going wild. Him and his cousin, brother-in-law. But yep, they were going wild. They came in with the new championship belts. For those who don't know, look up Real Belt Collector. He does a lot of the belts for a lot of people. You've probably seen his work. But yeah, had a really good match. Kicks people really hard. Hit people in the back of the head really hard, Zach, and jumped on everybody.
yeah, finished it off of Air Buddies onto Elliot, Daco for Suicide onto Geo, and we got the 1, 2, 3. So coming back strong, Coastal Championship Wrestling. This won't be the last time I think we make an appearance in the ring this year. Had a good response. It's always good to come back and get a big win.
Yes, sir. And then yeah, had to make that trip back. Had the Super Bowl plan, and the good guys won. So good weekend all around. Perch, how was your Midwest to the coast trip?
Yeah, it was a great time. Speaking of the East Coast and Beast Man,
I know, it's
last
like now that I think about it, like, oh yeah, you were just north and we were south.
last time I was on the East Coast, I saw Beast Man on the beach of Atlantic City.
Was he running there? I was like very surprised to see him like just running on the treadmill. Like, all right.
That's wonderful. Yeah, we went
That's
on
a
an early
scary thought.
morning little beach warm up. It was great. A good dude. But yeah, we all ventured east. I started things off Friday night at Freelance Wrestling at Logan Square Auditorium. That was a great one. Really fun. Uh, Hell of a show on IWTV. The matches I had of the night was a final gauntlet. Kind of Storm Grayson wanted to face Robert Ego Anthony for the title. However, the stipulations were first he had to face two former champs. So it was a match, Storm Grayson against Darren Corbin. That was a good match back and forth. Storm ends up hitting the knee and beat him, which then Storm had to face GPA. GPA tried some shenanigans. One thing led to another. Storm picks up the victory and beat GPA. Then Robert Ego Anthony, the champ of Freelance, who's been champ for a long time, and a hell of a storyteller, hell of a heel, comes out and they have a bloody, drag out, hard hitting match. Lots of close calls, almost, ended a couple times in there. But eventually Storm hits, I think, 3 knees and pins Robert Ego Anthony to become the new champion of Freelance Wrestling. It was a really cool time. Packed wall to wall. Awesome to see that many fans. Everyone rejoicing in a happy story.
Yes, yes. Hopefully that reign of terror is over.
Yeah, and I think it is. I think that was his farewell match to Freelance. And who knows how long it'll last, but for the foreseeable future, we won't be seeing the champ anymore. Which is a shame because I really enjoyed working with him at Freelance Wrestling and I learned a whole lot in doing so. But he left it in good hands. Now Storm's the champ and we'll all learn and grow and get better working matches. But yeah, shout out to Robert Ego Anthony, great dude. As far as it goes for pro wrestling and helping out and everything. And then after that show, hopped on a plane to go to New Jersey, Jersey City, New Jersey, at the White Eagle Hall. Awesome venue, so cool. The show was the Jersey J Cup on Fight TV. Jersey Championship Wrestling and Game Changer Wrestling are one and the same. And in Jersey Championship Wrestling is a great alternative, and they were crowning the champion of JCW as well as the J Cup winner that night. So it was really cool, lots of prizes, and it was a 1-day tournament with 2 shows. 20 men in the tournament.
Yeah, that field was huge.
20 men and 1 woman. 19 men, 1 woman. Yeah, incredible. And there was a scramble match. Otherwise, everything else was singles. And the first match I had of the tournament was Alec Price, the Prize City OG, against Blake Christian. A great match. Those 2 are like the devil and the angel on the East Coast right there. Alec Price is loved by the fans. And Ultimate, one day he'll get his. But right now,
Which is, to me, I just, sorry to interrupt, it's so funny to me because before GCW, he was like one of the biggest heels in the Northeast. And Blake Christian, before this past weekend, was probably one of the biggest baby faces in wrestling.
Yeah, it's cool to see as time goes on and characters evolve, and stories get told, fans, share their emotions. Yeah, it's cool to be a part of it and experience. Towards the end of this match, Blake Christian pulled me in front of Alec. Alec put me to the side. Blake Christian came in, and I think I took one for the team. I couldn't see it all happen so quick. And then I was woken up with a finish. What sounded like a thunderous rumble of the ring, and I counted 3. And
Shoulders were down, you did your job.
Blake Christian won. Yeah, and then the next match that I had was Billy Starks against Charles Mason. Billy Starks being the woman in the field of the tournament, and Charles Mason being the scariest, sinister, evil wrestler.
Patrick Bateman, just suburban corporate horror.
Yeah, very, very scary, and yeah, torturous kind of scary match, and an incredible storytelling. Charles Mason ends up winning with a devastating tombstone. Great first show, and the next show was amazing. It started off with match number 1 in the second round. Speedball Mike Bailey against Commander. Some stuff that's just wild. You have to see it to believe it. Speedball Mike was on another level this day. By the end of it, I had watched about 3 Speedball matches and had refereed one of them. So getting to see him work like 4 times in one day.
Wait, that man is just I feel like he was like, oh, I can work in America again, trying to tell everybody that I am the best wrestler ever. Like, nobody will do more matches than I do ever.
Having a high motor and high endurance and tolerance for pain and fire to continue. Yeah, he shows it all. Very inspiring, for real. And putting on good matches. Fans are always entertained and into it. This match was no different, as Speedball Mike ends up hitting the Flamingo driver to finish Commander. 1 point, Commander runs the ropes, which is his special. Can run from one rope to the next. He ran across all the way, stops about midway through, and pauses. Like those times when you can freeze time, and he did. And Speedball Mike came in and just ruined his day. But it was majestic for a moment before it was devastating.
Uh,
Awesome match. Great time. And the last match I had of the weekend was a semifinals match between Joey Janela and Jordan Oliver. This match was a spectacle to behold. um, it was back and forth, hard hitting. For both these guys, it was their third match of the day. One thing after another, they kept topping each other with moves and intensity. At maybe about 20, 25 minutes into the match, they go up for a superplex. Boom. And they both hooked each other's feet like a small package. And all four shoulders were down. And I looked at that moment and I counted to three. And we had rang the bell. Match was over. A little bit of confusion. Ref Adam came out. I came into the ring and we had a conversation. Asked me what I saw. I told him what I saw. And the crowd didn't know what was going to happen one way or the other. We sorted it out, talked to MLJ. The result was this match must continue.
hey.
Ring that bell again, restart. They went another 5-10 minutes. Incredible match. I think in all it was about 30 minutes, about a half hour. Worth the $4.99 on Fight TV for a month. Get a free trial, but that match alone is worth checking it out. Really cool. Jordan Oliver ends up picking up the victory, and he goes on to the finals against Speedball Mike, and Jordan Oliver ends up winning. Yeah, awesome day, awesome tournament, phenomenal pro wrestling. The Jersey J Cup. Shout out to the Ratty Daddy Cole Radrick, who made both shows with me as well. He was at Freelance on Friday and both shows on Saturday. Good dude, good homie.
Nice. Yeah, lots of time on the road this weekend for all of us. Yeah, I saw a few clips from the J Cup. Looked awesome. We'll probably try and catch that at some point. But let's get into our topic this week for this week. Perch hit a new city. We went back to a city we love being. So I just wanted guys, hey, put over some cities that you really enjoy going to. Let's start with Zach.
I mean, definitely Nashville. They've always been good to us. It was like the first time I think we were like on a very out of the state poster. That was kind of cool to see. And every time we're there, the fans all like some of the fans still remember us. And like when we got announced for the show, we had a few messages saying like, "Oh my God, I can't wait for you guys to be back. Excited for you guys to be back." So definitely Nashville. Um, I would say Duluth, Minnesota too is always a hot, fun crowd for Discovery Pro. Those fans are always riled up and willing to give you the business. And I guess the last one,
Sorry to interrupt, but also keep an eye out for Clyde Ironworks. That's where Discovery Pro runs, but I believe they are going to be running a lot more wrestling this year is the plan. I believe. So there'll be a lot more wrestling up in Clyde Ironworks, whether that is DPW or not.
yes, sir. I mean, of course, the last one's got to be like Milwaukee. Every time, like you have, especially at the bigger shows like Turner and all that. Nothing like a bunch of Milwaukee fans having a few good drinks and um being hype. I would like to say it's probably like the bigger crowds too. Like I feel like when it's tired, maybe everyone's a little bit hungover, but Milwaukee, obviously, the home state's always a great town to wrestle in front of.
Hell yeah. Perch, what you got?
Man, what a great question. Absolutely love it. Pro wrestling and traveling is so much fun. Getting to experience different towns, different cities, different regions. I'm a big fan, especially Midwest, wanting to work and be known throughout the Midwest. I love Detroit. Going to Harpo's in Detroit, it's like downtown and so cool. Fans out there are so into pro wrestling. I look forward every time. I'd never been to Detroit, Michigan before pro wrestling. Um, so I had, a picture in my own mind, and so different. So different than anything I'd ever pictured. Um, and I love it. It's perfect for pro wrestling. Chicago is amazing. There's so much good action. It's wonderful. No shortage of entertainment, and a lot of people seek out Chicago. A lot of people travel so far to make it to Chicago. We traveled just 2 hours to make it to Chicago. So that's why it's kind of been like a home base because it is so close. And Milwaukee is the best. It's home. Nothing like a Milwaukee crowd, especially the shows that run on the bus line. You get the diehard city folks and the townspeople, people who've been watching pro wrestling forever. Um, those are a few of the Midwest places that I absolutely love and adore. You guys mentioned Nashville, uh, Tennessee, very cool. Was there one time, and it was at the fairgrounds, and in a big uh, open complex. Fans out there were super cool as well. Good old school pro wrestling vibes. Good storytelling wrestling. I really liked it. Um, Tampa was amazing. The palm trees out there for pro wrestling. Wow, getting to experience that was a trip. That was a good crew. We had an absolute blast out there. I really loved it. Tokyo was like the biggest city I've ever been to in my life. That required a different way of viewing pro wrestling, and the fans couldn't be vocal for it, so they had to clap. But I was still out there before every show, greeting fans and seeing people as they walked in, and feeding off of that hype and that energy. And the three claps representing the company's letters. So getting people in a little alleyway and in front of the venue, all hyped and going. It was cool to share in that energy of the people of Tokyo. I didn't speak the language, but we could still connect through pro wrestling. So it really does transcend. Um, Liverpool was about as friendly of a city as I've ever been to. People were almost trying to outdo you with the friendliness or the kindness. Um, Not always the case. I love Chicago, and pro wrestling in Chicago is great, but you can run into someone at the airport in Chicago and they can just tell you to get lost without even saying it. The people in Liverpool were not that way. People were willing to help you and be friendly. It was cool, a cool change of pace. Um, Love Atlantic City and Jersey City out there, the East Coast. People are really cool. It's fast paced out there. People don't have any, you know, F's to give. They're there. They love pro wrestling. Lots going on, and they're genuine. Good people. Really liked it, and cool architecture out there as well. Uh, yeah, some fun ones and cities that I've never been to before pro wrestling. Looking forward to going to a whole bunch more cities as well.
Hell yeah. For me, I'll get this one out of the way. Hate the football team, but I really enjoyed Dallas. It's no secret I love food, and food was delicious. People were awesome.
They were so friendly in
Yeah,
Dallas.
they were
That
actually
was like an
pretty.
understatement. They were so friendly.
Yeah, people in Dallas were actually pretty chill, pretty friendly. That was a good time. Like you said, Tampa was awesome. Like Zach said, and you said Nashville. It's been great. Chicago has been like our second home, and Milwaukee is home, and they always treat us well. And yeah, like you said, if you can get show on the bus line and you get that crowd of people, it just takes it to another level. Some small towns I want to shout out. Good old Mattoon, Illinois. It's always going to hold a place in my heart. 01 is where it's somewhere I want to get to. And it's just been such an organic rise there and organic enjoyment, the little bit that we get to run around there. Another one, Oregon, Illinois. We've had some good times there. I really enjoy the times we've been there in the summer, and sometimes we've been lucky enough to have a show when they're having a fair in town, and it's been really chill there, good vibes all around. And, I'll give some love to Green Bay up there. Green Bay, haven't had a chance to be there as much as I was in like my first and second year, but every time we go up, it's all love. A lot of our vets are up there, so I have always enjoyed Green Bay. We went up there for Halloween last year and actually like hit Green Bay Fair and sat and had just like a comfortable dinner. So I'll put Green Bay up there as well. Yeah, wrestling has been very good to us that we have gotten to see a bunch of different cities and towns and just vibe out and enjoy it the way that we have. Let's keep it going for another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, Rock Falls, Oregon, Illinois, both
Yep.
those much love. Those little towns in Illinois, that was like the first ones I ever ventured to out of state, and we were like, "Whoa, this is cool."
Yeah,
It's middle of
for me, the
nowhere.
little towns are more so. I mean, I'm originally from New York, so like big cities, they're all kind of the same. But like finding the love in the little towns that I definitely never thought I would ever see in my entire life. Like you thought you would
Yeah,
never see the big cities. Just wild.
yeah,
Like
and Portage County, another
Portage
one.
County. God, how could I forget? Portage County. First love and first love, outside of Milwaukee. Like Portage County. Always loved going there. Was super sad that I wasn't able to go last year. Super sad that I don't think I'll be able to go this year. So when I hopefully come back next year, I'm probably gonna lose my shit and go super ham.
I pictured Dre and Tyler Sullivan thinking about Portage County. Is that first year that we went?
Yep, that was the first year we went.
Learning good storytelling
Yep.
and listening to a crowd. Like,
Yep.
that was cool.
Portage tends to be the place where I learn the most. So it does, like, it really actually does hurt me on a professional level when I don't get to go there. I think every year I've always stepped away from Portage a much better wrestler than I came in. So I do not
Yeah,
like not going.
that's the truth. I had blood gushing out of my nose, and an old lady in the front row gave me a Kleenex at Portage County. Good people.
Yep,
Good
good people in
people.
Portage. Good people in Portage. Much love to Portage. I will be back before you know it. And all right. Wind it down. Why don't we talk about this weekend? Zach, I know what you got because I'll be there. But Perch, what do you have?
This weekend, a lot of good action. AAW on Friday. That'll be on Pro Wrestling TV. Should be a really good time. Lots of good action. AAW is at the Berwyn Eagles Club, so going back to those old school vibes. The guardrails up.
Of course they're at of course they're at Berwyn when I'm not here. I will never get to Berwyn.
It'll be there. I think there's a handful more throughout the year that'll be here too. So it'll be a fun time coming up. And then the next day we're at Black Label Pro for 2 shows. That'll be on Fight TV, 4 o'clock Central and 7 o'clock Central. Should be a really good time. A lot of good people in the house. A lot of good referees from throughout the country are coming too, so that'll be a really fun time. And then off to Chicago for Gali Lucha on Sunday. That should be on Facebook. Lots of good Lucha Libre action to close out the weekend. So yeah, looking forward to 4 shows in 3 days in little Chicago, Indiana, Chicago.
Nice, nice, nice. And Zach, we have a fun weekend ahead of us.
Yes, sir. Friday, we're out in West Dallas for ICW. We are going to be in a fatal 5-way gauntlet tag match with the Great Outdoors, Marjax, Theory of Asian Unity, and the ICW Tag Team Champions, Evil Inside. Winner becomes the ICW Tag Team Champions. You know, Doc and I, we've held those tag straps twice now. First time we held them, we set a record reign, being the longest reigning ICW Tag Team Champions. Unfortunately, the sequel wasn't as good as the original, but we hope when the trilogy brings it back.
Yep, good old Return of the Jedi finish. Looking forward to that one. But Saturday is a rarity for us.
Yes, sir. Saturday, your boys are in singles action. I find myself against superstar Steve Boz making his Brew City Wrestling debut.
The father of Chicago wrestling.
I was about to say about the wrestle, the father of Chicago wrestling, the creator of all these stars. One-on-one, we've worked them once before in a tag match, but the first time ever for a singles match. And then, Dre, who you got?
It will be the Goat Doc Simmons versus Jake Omen, Midwest wrestler, traveled the world, very hard hitting. So you can expect a lot of damage, a lot of physicality, a lot of violence. Looking forward to it. And with that, I think it's time we can take it on home. Zach, any final thoughts or questions?
Yeah, I was talking to Doc about this. Some people I've heard guys saying like it's hard to do gimmick changes on the independent scene because fans are so used to who you are and all that. But let me tell you, I never knew that Mad Dog Conley was Dan Liplock. So the day I found out, I had a long drive home by myself. I watched his Instagram stories, and you want to talk about doing a character change? Like, guys, use your social medias because I was very intrigued by how he was going nuts and destroying himself and destroying his bedroom, and it was just super interesting. But yeah, I mean, just ideas for people who want to see how to do a character change and want to idea do it to advertise it around all platforms and do a full turn without wondering how each promotion will do it. That's all. I thought it was very interesting, and I was super entertained by that one.
Hell yeah, that was a good one. Watched it live. It was wild to watch, but yeah, he was super dedicated to it, and look at him now.
Is it
Perch.
number 10 on the IWTV world title list?
He's constant. He's been in the top 10 rankings pretty consistently, like the past 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, good on him. He put in the work, found what works for him, and is taking the ball and running with it. Perch. Final thoughts.
Yeah, Sauget, Illinois, just on the border of St. Louis, is what's called like a border town. St. Louis has got commissions, Missouri for pro wrestling, but just on the border of Illinois, you can run wrestling shows without having to do any commissions. So there's this lawless town where there's like 3 giant buildings in the middle of a huge parking lot, very dusk till dawn vibes. It's a strip club, a dispensary, and a nightclub. I've only been in one, and that's the nightclub. And and we've done wrestling shows there. It's called Pops, and that place is amazing, incredible. Cool balcony that goes throughout the entire arena. Cool stage as well. That was the last time I saw Mad Dog Conley. Was inside Pop's nightclub in Sauget, Illinois, another obscure town, but a very cool one, and a great venue nonetheless. And yeah, that guy's intense.
Yeah.
Dude brings it.
Yep.
Last time I saw him, I was taking a picture with Dan Severn.
Yeah, we had the Dan picture. The
But
Dan
yeah, just one of
picture.
those pulling it all full circle. One of those stories. But great Muda, hoping that he gets better with his legs and his body. He's got that Naito match coming up. I think in about a week or so, right in that range.
Yeah. If it didn't happen
So
this past week, I believe it's next week.
he's getting the body right, and will be a miracle when he does come out there and get the job done. Our prayers are with him.
Yep. And once again, like my message has been the past couple of weeks, everybody, please take care of yourself. You only have one life to live. Enjoy it and be safe. Follow us on all the social medias. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Tell promotions to book us because we want to wrestle and referee in front of you because that's kind of our thing. This has been the Take It Home podcast. Y'all be easy. 1.